Hello, investors. This is Ted Zhang, Associate Portfolio Manager at Revere Asset Management. Today is Wednesday, November 13th, 4:51 p.m., coming to you from Fort Lauderdale with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. State of the market, we are in an uptrend. GROTECTION gauge, all four coveted green arrows. Market leaders are acting strong, but we're starting to see some extension and some indications that leaders need some rest, pull back, consolidate, and digest. Short term still above the 21 EMA, medium term above the 50-day moving average, and long term above the 200-day moving average. So what happened today? Market digestion continues in the indexes, and leaders do need some rest. 21 over 21 list down 0.58%, 9 up, 1 sideways, 10 down. Big 8 up 0.2%, RG8 down 0.81%, S&P about flat, RSP also about flat, Qs down 0.13%, QQEW about flat at minus 0.02%, Dow up 0.20%, mid caps down 0.56%, Russell small caps down 0.73%, Global 60/40 equity bonds down 0.14%, and GROTECTION down 0.48%. Now jumping right into the S&P 500. After 3 powerful up days after the election, we've been going sideways under 6,000, closing only 1 day above 6,000 on 11/11. Yesterday we closed at 59.84, and today we closed at 59.85. So extremely tight closing, extremely tight action, just right below 6,000. It continues to act as a ceiling, but this volume pattern is perfect. Big move up on volume, and now volume has been contracting as we digest these gains. The 8 EMA is catching up, 21 EMA as well. And with those EMAs catching up, we'd likely take out 6,000 going forward. RSP, same action. Strong 4 days up, and now just digesting with the MAs catching up as well. Qs, same thing, made new all-time highs. Just really, really tight 4 days on well below average volume after 2 days of above average volume. 8 EMA pretty much is caught up. If you go on a 60-minute, you can see how tight this digestion is. Over 515, and we likely make new all-time highs. We just have this box between 510 and 515 now. QQEW, similar thing, above 130 on a 60-minute. This is the box we're trading in, above 131, and this is heading higher, or likely heading higher. Dow Jones Industrial Average also made a new high and just pulling back. Still well above the 8 EMA, extremely healthy action. Mid caps pulling back a bit more, looking to meet its 8 EMA. 21 EMA is almost above 3,200. So this provides great breakout retest support if we do decide to do that in the markets. Finally, Russell pulling back a bit more, about to go meet the 8 EMA. We had a failed breakout at 2,400, but that is totally okay right now. We're definitely really extended, and this pulling back is completely healthy. As you can see, RS is finally leading now, small caps, which has not been the case for a very, very long time. Some good news, VIX is well below 15 now. Actually closing just above 14, below the 200-day moving average. And as I said before, it's definitely reflecting the indexes with the tight action. Between 10 to 14 is an area where really low volatility, smooth uptrends can occur, just like these periods before. Dollar continues to be extremely strong. We knew Trump was going to be a pro-dollar administration with his various policies. Combat with various foreign policies with tariffs that's strong for the dollar. So that continues to shoot higher up like 7 to 8 weeks in a row. On the flip side, gold continues to pull back and correct well below the 50-day now. A lot of distribution as well. And this is starting to look a bit ominous. We're breaking the 10-week, which is held almost the entire way up. Now we're back to the 20-week moving average. GDX almost back to the 200-day. So you can see these failed moves can really manifest into fast moves. And especially in this market, such algo-driven, social media-driven, velocity information is extremely fast. Moves are so much more violent. You can go from that penthouse up here to the outhouse literally in a matter of 3 weeks. So you always have to be ready and manage your risk and knowing your plan. Same thing for silver, breaking the A21 M50. Looks like 200 days coming. RS line takes out the lows of this RS line base as well. So that's definitely not looking healthy. In terms of other things going on, Bitcoin is extremely strong, seeing a bit of exhaustive action after up 27% from the top of this base. If I go to the actual Bitcoin chart, it's really stellar breakout last week, followed through by this week. Today, we pushed higher, made highs just under 94,000, and we're back into this consolidation that we've been in. Go to a 65-minute chart, you can see we pushed out of here over 90,000, made a move higher, but we're back in the base with short-term exhaustion. Chopping sideways here would be totally normal action. I actually preferred 5 EMAs up to 85,000, 10 EMAs up to 80,700 or 800. And if we get some chop in the next few days and weeks, get the 10 and the 20, meet the price, and then we can really continue higher and try to test for that 100,000 level. Bonds continue to trickle lower. That's BND, TLT as well, which means yields are trickling higher. And that's definitely dragging the dollar higher as well because foreign investors and nations have higher incentive to buy our bonds when there's higher yields. And that pushes the dollar up because people have to convert their currencies into the dollar. Now to the tail of the tape. VIX again below 14. That's a great sign. CNET fear and greed plus 0 stays at 68. We're operate under the bull case as we're above the 21 EMA. News tomorrow, we have PPI and Powell speaking at 3 p.m. Coming into today, our keys were the S&P versus support 59.50, Qs versus 510. Both held and we're above those. We closed above those. Day count up 3 to consolidation 1 to consolidation 3 now. 7 days above the 8 EMA, 7 days above the 21 EMA. Expectations are positive. So pretty much today was just a chop/digestion day. Strong sectors, real estate, energy, consumer discretionary, staples, and Bitcoin, even though it reversed, it was still up a bit today. Dollar's actually green. Tech, utilities, healthcare was down. Bitcoin miners down. Uranium, semis, gold, and silver all weak. And the bond prices and bond yields I have as neutral today. RVAB stayed the same, but we did sell Kava and CART. We'll go over those in a bit. We trimmed MSTR on the gap up reversal. Then we bought Cohere. Bottom line is market digestion continues. Leaders need some rest. And this should be tomorrow's keys, so Thursday keys, not Wednesday keys. And we're still watching the S&P versus support level of 59.50, Qs versus support level of 510, and then rates in the dollar, as well as the percentage of stocks above the 5-day moving average to give us a sign of how much FOMO there is in the markets. So jumping right into it, let's talk about the stocks we acted on today. Kava had a really nice earnings report. Had a 36% surprise, 150% year-over-year growth, 39% year-over-year revenue growth, and then 58.5% margins. But we completely reversed the whole move, still above the 8 EMA, but reversed the whole move on really good news. And so we just decided to close our position up 60% plus. There's a small trailer left, and we can take that cash and recycle it into new, fresh ideas. CART, disappointing earnings, even though it was still up 106% year over year, 12% on sales. We closed down 11% today, but did hold the 50. We decided to get rid of our position as it broke the 8 and 21 EMAs and back to these IPO highs. We actually held to the very penny today, almost very penny, close a bit above it. MSTR is another trim as well. We gapped up higher, pushed a bit, and then reversed back in. And that's where we decided to trim some off as well. Then finally, our only buy today was Cohere. Really nice action off earnings, 363% year-over-year growth, 28% year-over-year revenue growth, 34% gross margins. This is really a powerful stock and it really has everything. It's still in this mid-cap slash large cap territory with less than 1,000 funds. This plays a big part in the AI data center space. Pulling back, forming a higher handle slash flag, so we decide to initiate a position here. And then some other charts of interest for me. Bitcoin, even though we reversed on pretty high volume, it's a completely fine action as we are extended and exhausted. 8 EMAs catching up quick. Let's just see how this digests. Holding 50 would be a great sign, but even breaking 50 and pulling back to the 8 and 21 and meeting that is completely normal. And we'll have to see what Bitcoin does. Right now, it's still trading at 88,800, completely healthy, 5 EMAs below. When the stock's trending above the 5 EMA, you know that's extremely powerful. And so back to the tail of the tape. One second. Let me bring up the charts as well. Sorry about that. All right, we're back. And yeah, that's it for the tail of the tape, actually. My bad. Give me 1 sec, some technical difficulties, and we are back. Okay, so next name, coin. This has been one that's powered up the right side off Bitcoin's move. And honestly, this pullback presents a potential very opportunistic idea sooner or later. If we can stabilize around the top of the space, or maybe even this 272 level, coinciding with the AN21, and that could present a nice pullback buy. This just has extraordinary earnings, triple digits, triple-digit revenue growth, triple-digit gross margins for 3 quarters in a row. Just amazing. And then finally in the video, above the base highs, just forming a high handle. Earnings in 1 week. Of course, is the most consequential name in the markets with their GPUs, so we'll see what happens. I just want to point out this base looks a lot similar to the previous bases before earnings. Nice VCP characteristics, cup with handle. That it did it here. It also did it back here, but this base is compressed because we're on an arithmetic chart. But on a weekly, you can see that VCP base, another one, and a third one. So we'll see what happens on earnings, and that will be key for NVIDIA. Finally, let's go over some top stocks in the 21 over 21 list, gainers and losers. The top gainer today was SMR. This nuclear thing continues to be in play, up 7.5% today, trending nicely above the AN21. This stock is quite whippy, has a large ATR. So going to be in it, definitely have to size smaller. We'll be ready for a roller coaster ride. Twilio, after its earnings gap, this is perfect, flawless price action post earnings. Just amazing. Trending above the 8 EMA. Reddit, another great reaction on earnings, pulled back, held the EMA, and just has blasted higher so far. And this is also trending extremely nicely too. Team, another earnings gapper that's just trending along the right side of its base. Next key level will be 258.69. What we've seen in this earnings report are the ones that do well, do extraordinarily well, and trend well. But then there are also other destructive ones like CART today and some other stocks. Kava, more of a disappointing one, gapped up higher on great earnings, but so far closed back in yesterday's range. This probably needs to base for much longer at this point. We know that their PE ratio extremely high at 315. So perhaps the stock needs a base now, continue to grow earnings revenues, and then it can make a future move. Palantir continues to remain strong, but we close at the lows of the range, still above 60. That still looks great post earnings. Just want to make sure that we are definitely quite extended here. As you can see, if you draw an upper trend line, we did breach that. So we just need digestion now. Toast, another earnings gapper, continues to float higher. As you can see, the theme is earnings gappers. And many of these will lead to continuation setups that will present great buying opportunities. BRT, cup with handle, exploded out the day before election, reclaimed that 109, 110 area, and gapped up after the election. Continues to act really well. They play a big role in data centers. On the downside, CART, of course, on earnings got torched, held the 50-day, held a 10-week moving average. So you still can give this time if your cost basis is much lower. MicroStrategies, just a huge move since 113, over a 200% move now. And so this gap up reversal doesn't mean the move's over, but some digestion is definitely needed, at least a few weeks base perhaps. But this could just be extraordinarily strong and continue to move. But we're playing probabilities here. 8 EMA is still much lower, similar to 21 EMA. So we'll have to see those catch up first and see what it does afterwards. Carvana continues to trend above the 8. Nothing wrong with that. Bros, post earnings gap, just a normal pullback, still well above the 8. CLS, another post earnings gapper, trading above the 8. As you can see, the top 5 down names were all pretty much above the 8 EMA and acting well, except CART, which was torched on earnings. And that still shows me that the market is healthy, even though leaders do need to pull back and digest the recent powerful moves. And as always, that will actually wrap up the video for today. Let me bring this. So that will wrap up the video for today. As always, I would love to hear from you. My email is ted@revereasset.com, and then you can reach out to Dan and Don at revereasset.com. My Twitter is also Ted H. Zhang. My phone is 855-REAL-WEALTH. That is 855-732-5932. Our website is Revere Asset Management, and our YouTube channel is Revere Asset. And if you're interested in becoming a client, please reach out as well. With that said, I'll wrap it up for today, Wednesday, November 13th. This is Ted Zhang with Revere Asset Management, telling it like it is. Thank you for listening, and have a great rest of your day. And also remember to like, subscribe, comment. That really helps us with the YouTube algorithms.